Well, I'd say the problem that caused my dad to yell at me all stems back about 3 years ago, maybe 3.5 years ago, when he was buying a new truck. He had some truck problems, so he was buying a new work van. And I was like, so what do you do with your old van? He was like, I traded it in. I was like, for how much? He was like, $1,500. I was like, Dad, that van was only like 5 years old. It didn't even have that many miles. It's in great condition. They ripped you off. You could have sold it for way more than that. He said, well, I just don't really want to deal with it. I said, well, Dad, I'll do it. I'll fix it up and I'll sell it. I can make a lot of money. He was like, I tell you what, I just signed the papers yesterday. I'll go down there today after work and I'll ask the dealership if they will let me keep my van. I'll give them the money back and I'll do that for you. That's okay with me. When you do sell it, you'll pay me the amount of the trade-in, the $1,500, or actually it was $2,000. You'll pay me the $2,000, and you can keep the difference. If you want to do that, that's fine. But you just got to pay me the amount I was going to get already. You can make the profit if you want to put in that work. And I was like, great, I want to. So that was 3.5 years ago. About 2 months after that, I brought it to a mechanic that we know. That mechanic kept it for 10 months. Couldn't find the problem with it. I finally went over to the mechanic's house. He wouldn't answer the phone. 10 months he had it. I called him 100 times. No, that's not true. I called him 6 times, maybe. Spread out about a week or two between each call. I'd leave a message. He never called me back. So finally, I went over there and I got the van back. And I brought it home, and it had way more problems. It had a blown radiator that wasn't blown before, but since it had been sitting for 10 months in a backyard, it had more problems when I brought it there. Blown radiator, the battery was no good. I had to replace the battery, replace the radiator. It had a whole bunch of new sensor problems that I have to go through. I had to replace the airbag sensor. And I also then did a whole bunch of body work to it. I polished it. I removed 2 big dents and another medium dent. I removed a lot of rust. I started repainting the wheels. It was just a big project, and then winter hit. So now we're like 2 years in. Winter hit, and then the following year I was really busy throughout the year, but I was planning to do it all summer. Finally I got around to it. But I was like, you know what, my car, right at that time, my car was breaking down. It was no longer safe to drive. And so I spent 3 months working on completely renovating my car. And then winter hit again. And now we're here. So the van has just been like kind of dragging along. So he's angry about that the van's still not sold. Not because he needs the money, but because he doesn't like seeing it parked in front of the house. Which is really stupid. Like, what's the big deal? Who cares? Alright, so that's one issue. The next reason he yelled at me is because last summer, mid to late summer, I believe late July, my grandma died. And no, it was late June, I think. My grandma died, and my uncle called me up and he was like, you gotta go through your grandma's house and get whatever you need. And so I went in there and I took like everything I could think that I could either sell or keep. I took tons and tons of stuff, and I brought it all home in boxes. And then I was really focused on the vehicle repair work. I was working on my car all fall and into the very start of winter. And then throughout this winter, as you guys know, I've been working really hard on my YouTube channel, getting electronics going, building that automotive recliner creeper chair. Just really working on a lot of different projects. Projects that I hadn't been able to work on all year. And that has prevented me from... Well, it hasn't prevented me. That's been my decision to take advantage of the winter and get some work done on the robot and different projects around the house that I couldn't do when I was working on the vehicles. The vehicles are still my top priority, but it's just too cold to work on them right now. No, I don't think it lost a lot of value. It really didn't. When you look at a work van, you look at the mechanical soundness of it. You need something reliable. And overall, you want it to look neat and clean and dent-free. You know, look okay, look sharp, representing your business well. The year of it is not that big of a deal. I mean, after a vehicle's over 4 or 5 years old, whether it's 8 years old or 6 years old, it's not a big difference. At that point, you're looking at mileage anyways. You're looking at mileage and condition. You're not looking at a date. The date becomes irrelevant. You can buy, you know, a 12-year-old car with low mileage in perfect condition for a lot more than a 5-year-old car with all kinds of problems that wasn't taken care of and high mileage. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't think it went down a lot of value. It might have gone down 500 in value, maybe just from the year alone, the year changing alone. But like I said, it's been a long journey, and I didn't choose for this to be when my car completely goes haywire. I mean, we're talking brake failure, suspension failure, needing complete reflush of all the brake lines, needing a complete reflush of the cooling systems, tremendous body damage on a fender bender type car accident. We'll call it a car accident. Tremendous body damage and exposed metal needing body repair. Some problems with the axle. A lot of cleaning work needed. A lot of rust repair needed. Each year does not decrease by 2K. According to that, the truck is worth like negative $10,000 then. That's ridiculous. You know, on an older used vehicle, bottom line is there a check engine light? Does it look good? Does it sound good? Does it drive good? What are the mileage? That's the price. It's not about a year. I don't believe that. And also, it took exceedingly long because that damn mechanic was 1 year of that. And it's only been, my dad exaggerated, he said 4 years. It has not been 4 years. It's been like 2.5 years. And the mechanic was responsible for 1 year of that. And then I was responsible for another 1.5 years, but that's because my car had failed and it required me to shift focus completely to my car, which I need for driving. I need my car. And as far as my grandma dying, I mean, I have not had time to go through that, and I didn't think I needed to right now. I still don't think I need to. when you have so much going on in your life, like I do, so much, it's not fair to look at any one given project and say, oh, that should have been done. No, that's not how this works. When you have a lot going on in your life, you need to do this. You need to take a deep breath each and every moment of each and every day and say, what is the next right move? And if you keep doing that, always doing the next right move, you will work through all of your problems, and it will sort itself out. You can't just point at one problem and say, oh, that one's not done. Oh, that... No. You got to do a deep breath. What is the next right move? And that move might be one part of one problem. It might not be even completing that problem. It might be, my next right move is I've got to fill these customer orders. And then my next right move might be I need to release these YouTube videos. And my next right move might be I need to fix this vacuum. You've just got to take things one step at a time, and you will get through it all in a certain amount of time, in the proper timing. So it's just not fair to point at one thing in a life of somebody very involved in a lot of projects and say, oh, that's not getting done. No, you got to assess everything on my plate, how I've arranged it, how I've organized my to-do list, how I've prioritized, how I've scheduled. You got to assess everything from a bird's eye view, not just focus in on one thing and say, oh, he should have had that done by now. That's not how this works. They just want to focus on a number, how much money have you made this year. They want to focus on that, or they want to focus on the one project that they see that I haven't finished, or they want to focus on, you know, this or that, but they don't look at what I have achieved and what I'm continuing to achieve. So it's just unfair and ridiculous. But at the end of the day, I'll get the last laugh because my life is being managed properly, and I'm on the road to excellence. I'm already living my life with excellence, but I'm on the road to a certain level of achievement that will be undeniable to everyone at that point. Once you get to a certain level economically, or a certain level of having projects done, that's when the respect starts to kick in and people start to become really impressed and step back and no longer criticize you. So I'm really looking forward to that day, and I'm well on the way to that. So it's just a matter of time. I just need to be patient and let the haters hate. Let them talk. And I will pull through it, and I'll be fine. It's not going to be that much longer.